Good afternoon, fam. I had a new project that I was working on. I really didn't work on it, but I had an old Athearn ready to run GP40X, Southern Pacific GP40X, just sitting in my closet. My goal was to always put a decoder in it, DCC and sound, and I just didn't get around to it because I didn't feel confident in my abilities to add a speaker and I wanted to add LEDs for the lighting. I know that the folks at TCS, they do have a lot of instructional videos on how to upgrade and add DCC decoders and to add sound. But I chose, I don't want to do it. I'm going to try maybe later at some time, but I had, let me see here, John McGuire at Garden State Model Works LLC did it for me. He also did an older Southern Pacific SD45T-2 that I had. That model was made like 15 years ago. The same with this GP40X. I think they made those, or they sold them in 2013. Can't remember, but at the time the detail is great, and the detail is still great. It's missing some things like the Mew hose lines and the windshield wipers. Those I can add on. I feel confident about adding those on. But let's turn the camera around. I want to show you the work he did. John added a LokSound, ESU LokSound 5 decoder, and he did the programming, and he also added upgrade speakers. I'm forgetting the name of the speakers, but you can tell the difference. So again, let's turn the camera around and I'll show you what he did. Here is the model. Again, Athearn did a really great job on this, as they say back in the day, maybe 10, 12, 15 years ago, I guess. But I left the elephant ears on. I really wanted to take them off, but I wasn't feeling confident about that. I wasn't sure if I would damage the model. And also, I don't even know if there's actual radiator fans or the radiator grills underneath the elephant ears. So it's like, I'll just leave them. That's fine. Let's see here. Like I said, if you look at the front, there's no Mew hoses, multiple unit hoses. There's no windshield wipers, and there's but it is a really nice model. So I'm going to show you how it works. I'm going to show you this, or you can listen to the sound. Now, obviously, the quality of sound is not going to translate through the video, but let me tell you, it's awesome. I'm amazed, and the speakers that John used, I forget the name of them, but I think probably most of you will know what they are. All right, let's start running the Loco. Okay, as you can see, I use ESU's cab control system with their cab control throttle. I really like it. It's it's Windows based. You can program up to 30 functions in this. Right now I've got up to function 12, but I gotta edit for this locomotive. But I really love this system. You can use it with engine driver because cab control already puts out a Wi-Fi signal. So let's get to the model. All right, let's start up the motor. For LokSound 5 decoders, that is function 8, F8. Decent sound. Now I'm going to turn on the lights, headlight, and John also put in the marker lights. They don't change color from green to red to white. It's just white. So we got that. And then we have the gyro light, or whatever you call it. And let me zoom in on this. I had John install the emergency red light, but currently, here I'll turn it on, but currently it's not programmed to when the emergency light comes on that all the other lights go off, and that's the way other locos are programmed, for example, from scale trains. Athearn, on my SW1500, when you operate the emergency light, the other lights will go off. So I thought that's pretty cool. It's hard to see, but John added truck lights, and it's a nice little touch. It's hard to see because it's, you know, daytime in here, and well, it's daytime outside, and we're getting the ambient light, and I could close the blinds. Let me close the blinds. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's a little better. You can see the light. Let me zoom back out. You can see the light on the truck. Nice touch. I think more and more people are liking that. My other locos, like my SW1500 from Athearn, has the same thing. So it's cool. Okay, let's do some of the sounds. Well, actually, we're going to do the horn, but let me do the bell first. Now, the horn is excellent. It's a little too loud for my taste, so I'm going to have to reprogram it. I have a ESU decoder programmer, so I'll use that. But check out the horn. Obviously, you can't hear the full clarity of it, but it's nice. You know, I compared to my other locos, which have their kind of factory built-in speakers, this one is awesome. Let me do it again. All right, let's do a running test. Since this is an older Athearn locomotive from, like I said, 12, 15 years ago, there's some gear noises. John told me he actually cleaned up the gears, he oiled them, but you can still hear some mechanical noise. But here, let me move it forward. Now, what I like about these LokSound decoders, there's a very prototypical, realistic delay when you give throttle. So here we go. All right. And I applied the independent brake there. I love that function. For Athearn, they have it on F11, and for the LokSound decoders, they have it on F10. So as time goes on, I'll start programming and migrate everything to F10 or F11, depending on which manufacturers use F10 and 11 for what functions. So I'll release the independent brake. And as you hear, the brakes release. All right. All right, I'm going to send it in reverse. And as you can see, the lights went to the back. I'm not going to show the lights, well, I'll show it in a second. All right, I'm going to let off the independent brake. And there you go. And the loco does have a keep alive, and I think John said he set it for 8 seconds. And yes, it lasts a while when you cut power. So I'm going to cut power right now, and I'm going to turn the loco around so you can see the rear end. Again, the full SP light package is in the rear of the locomotive. So I turned off, I removed track power, and you can see it's lasting a while because of the keep alive. There you go. All right, let me turn this around. Okay, I'm going to fire up track power, and I'm going to start the motor, so to speak. I'm going to press F8. Now I'm going to put it in reverse. As you can see, the lights have activated or turned on, and I'm going to give it some throttle. Okay, here's the light, and the rear emergency light works, and real cool. I like it. So again, I will say this, DCC and sound do add a level of complexity to your model railroad experience. However, it also adds more simplicity, because when you go to a layout and there's multiple locos running, all you got to do is pick your local or create a consist, and you can independently operate trains without using DC and blocks and kind of the old school method. So one more blast of the horn, and that is our demonstration. Thank you very much.